Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor. Welcome to another live trauma spotting through source tapping session. I believe it is important for people to see the demonstration of how this works because it's very difficult to understand why it's so powerful and why it's so magical. Today, I have for you Robin Will. Robin has been a professional tarot card reader for the last year or two now. Robin, you'll have to comment below and correct me on how long you've been doing this. She's a previous client of mine. And when we first met, she had a desire to get into helping others, stepping into her purpose. And she has had a passion for tarot card reading for a very long time. And after our working together, she was finally able to step into her own business or partnership with a existing shop where she offers readings and has since become a tarot card teacher. But she's been practicing for 20 years and she's also a channel for source. She's an intuitive creative and a budding animal communicator. So make sure to help me hold space for this session. Send Robin Will your love. And if you'd like to work with her, check out the links in the description below. Sending you love, my friends. I'll see you on the next one. Welcome, Robin. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So good to see you again. What would you like to work
Yeah.
on today?
I feel like we should touch on that feeling of discrimination that I came up with or that happened through that experience with my website server.
Okay.
Um,
Can you tell me a
I
little bit
did.
more about that?
Well, it's funny. Well, it's not funny. It's funny how the ego wants to make it funny.
Mm-hmm.
But I was I I had finished my website about a year ago, and then like a week after that, I was given the professional tarot teacher position, and then just like left my website alone basically after it was up finally. And then a week or so ago, I guess it was, or a few weeks ago, I was like, I'm finally going to get into my website. I'm going to upgrade my subscription so that I can, offer payments through their website and track it better and all this stuff. And then after I had paid the money to the website, I was putting in my information to actually have the online payments option, and it came up with this thing when I put in tarot that said your business is on a prohibited business list. And there was no mention of this prohibited business list anytime before giving payment. It was only after, while putting in my bank information. And I was like, what? And so I click on it, and fortune tellers, mediums, psychic, tarot readers, energy healers, anything of that umbrella, in the spiritual practice is on a prohibited businesses list and through this website server, along with weapons dealing and drug sales, like illicit drug sales, so drug dealing, firearms sales, like selling like pornography and its branches that I'm not going to go into in this video. And I was just like immediately felt like this, like discrimination is the only way I could describe what I was feeling, to be like clumped in with people that like exploit other humans, sell weapons, sell explicit harmful drugs. And I'm like, excuse me.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that. And yes, there are frauds and toxic people in the spiritual community, but there also are in every other aspect of every other business on this planet.
Yeah.
And it just felt like ick. And it made my stomach feel like hot and burny, and I had to like process it emotionally afterwards. And then I realized, and then it also like I feel like I don't want to even like I don't want to recommend this website to anyone I know who's a spiritual practitioner, and I also don't want to be with them anymore.
Yeah.
And my subscription renews in 2 months. So I have 2 months to make this decision, on top of channeling a new course for the Oracle and everything else.
Yeah.
So I was like, thanks for that extra bit of task.
Yeah.
But
So
so it felt like a discrimination quite fully in me. And then my ego kicks in. It's like, what do you have to be discriminated against? It's not even against you personally. No one said you're a horrible, toxic fraud. it was just a website. This isn't even against you as the person. And it's like, no, it doesn't matter. It's still discrimination, and can happen to any other person in this community who's a spiritual practitioner. If they go with this website, they can feel it too.
Yeah.
And so I had to face that whole dismantle that like ego part of me that was like, oh, it's not that big of a deal because it wasn't personally attacked. It wasn't a human. It was just a company with a policy that I felt attacked by. And I feel like through this, I've tuned into the realization and the knowing that this is another level of trauma healing that's being asked of me right now, to level up my self-worth, my trust in my abilities, my validity as a practitioner, so that I can surpass this bump and then go even higher again. But I tuned into that feeling of like, oh, like yeah, so it just felt like discrimination, and I don't know if I should even like mention their name here, but I'm trying to be.
You're welcome to if you'd
It's
like.
it's the website servers GoDaddy, so it's a Canadian, very well-known Canadian website host. So if anyone watching this is a practitioner and wants to go with GoDaddy, I would recommend not, because you can't have a full website if you're a tarot reader, medium, psychic, fortune teller person. So yeah.
So let's get into the body. All right, just kind of step back into that moment of reading that list and feeling the initial where in your body do you find that?
I feel like it makes my face feel hot. I also feel like it's, at the moment, it makes my stomach and my solar plexus kind of like tighten.
Yep. Yep. I was about to say the initial gut punch, and I didn't want to put that into your head, but
Yeah, no.
that's what I'm sensing as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
give
When
it.
it first happened, it felt more like that, like kind of like acidic nausea feeling, but now it feels like just like tightening.
Okay. Yeah. Then that was next. Just give it words. Describe that sensation.
Mm-hmm. And like I don't feel it so much anymore, but another sensation that came forward was this just like clog in my like throat chakra.
Okay.
And what that felt like to me at the time was it's like when you like are like continually coughing up that really like loose phlegm, you know what I'm saying? That's what it felt like, but like energetically, like I can't cough this stuff up type of thing.
Okay.
So
Okay. So what are you experiencing right now, though? What calls your attention most?
I actually hear like the heat in my face, and my stomach is what's calling me the most.
Okay. Sorry, can you
Because I feel.
clarify that the stomach is calling your attention most? Okay, good. Give that words. Describe that sensation. Is it hot? Is it cold? Heavy, dense? Does it have a color?
It feels like kind of like oily.
Okay, good.
Like if oil was like moving around my stomach like this, while also being kind of like tight.
Okay, good. The body's speaking. I love that language. It's beautiful. Keep your focus and attention on that sensation. We're going to bring out the pointer now and just notice as you keep your awareness on the sensation in the body, but your eyes on the pointer. Look for that area of most activation.
You know, it's getting more intense on that side.
On this side.
I'd say like right about there.
Okay. Let's go up and down. Does that increase or decrease as we go up?
I feel like that increased up there.
Okay, good. Just adjust so I can hold that for you. Okay, now breathe into that sensation. And notice how old does that feeling feel?
Well, I know you asked me this through message before, and I had answered internally, but I was out at the time, and the same word just came back to me with the same potential vision connected to it. And the first word that came back to me is that it's ancient. Okay. And then the first vision or visual that I saw was something that arose for me in a past life meditation led by Denise Led. And now watching some other videos on past life versus like ancestral healing. I'm not sure if it is a past life or if it's me tuning into the past life of an ancestor that I've had. But the vision that came forward was this meditation that I saw where I was a tarot reader, but I wasn't a part of society. I was like this man. It was like Renaissance kind of English time, and I was living in like this dark forest in a hut. And I was giving this reading to a woman who was there for a reading, and all these like soldier guards like burst into the cabin and were like, "Ah, this is heathenist witchcraft sin. We're taking you in." And in the dream, or in the vision, because in the meditation, Denise Lynn says that like these moments are now just energetic, so you have the power to shift them through meditation. And so in the dream, I was like, wait, and I grabbed this locket from my mantle, like fireplace mantle, and I was like, look, this is your old wife's, right? Her spirit led me to it in the river. And I give this locket to one of the guards, and he just like bursts into tears and crumbles down. And then that's how the meditation ends. And he's like, oh my God, you are real. This is like, how did you find this? And in the meditation, I had been led by his past deceased wife's spirit to where this locket was found in the river, picked it up and had held it in my possession for whatever reason until the guard came in. But that vision came forward.
Anything in this lifetime? Stay with the sensation in the body. Be careful not to let the mind search and seek.
Yeah, there was the one that's coming up from my childhood again comes from that that message, that moment of, yeah, I think it's rooted back to the very beginning, like they always are. So of that time when I was a little girl, like grade 1 or whatever it was, and I had just got the new shoes. I was playing with them in class, and then the teacher got mad at me, took them away, and I was stuck inside alone by myself, shoeless for the rest of the day while everyone else was outside playing.
Yeah. Stay with the sensations in your body. What are you experiencing in your body right now?
I feel like that feeling is like moved up to my throat.
Okay. And what would that feeling say if it could speak?
That it feels alone.
Just stay with
That
it.
it's afraid.
Good. You're doing good. Just stay with that sensation.
It wishes that there was someone there that could have stopped that from happening.
And just see that version of yourself, that inner child, that little girl. Bring her close to you, hold her close to your heart, and feel together with her the way she felt in that moment. Feel in your body the way she felt in her body.
Do I need a box of tissues?
Just stay with the sensations in the body.
I feel like there's like a lack of trust.
In who?
In other people.
And what are we afraid of?
Because she was just a little girl. She didn't understand anything, and then someone who she thought was supposed to be there for her betrayed her. That's the word that came forward. It felt like betrayal.
Yeah. Did this website
And then because she was
really?
so little, and this woman, this adult, was her teacher, she was like, if I can't trust my teacher, who can I trust? My teacher's not going to stand up for me. I guess I'm alone.
Mm. What area of your body is calling your attention most now?
My heart
Describe that sensation.
feels mucusy.
Mhm. Good. Stay
Feels
with,
like encased.
good. Just stay with that sensation for a bit.
Encased, but beating still.
In spite of.
Yeah, it feels like the sound I'm hearing is like boof, boof. It's like slow, but it's like consistent. It's almost like it's been trying to beat its
Mhm.
pulse, beat its way through this mucus casing. But it's been probably trying since I was this little girl, so
Yeah.
now it's just a slow.
Yeah. Stay with that sensation. Notice the belief. I can't trust people and I'm on my own.
I feel it more in this area of my heart chakra and heart area than that side.
Okay. Is that the left side?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So feminine and ability to receive. Stay with the sensation.
Another memory came forward that was like more recent in comparison, and it was just like a recurring limited belief from my past where I was like walking home one day and things were stabilizing for us, and while I was like living in my old place with Stu, and I just had this feeling like it was like the words that I hear like don't get too comfortable because it's like steady now, like you can't trust the comfort, you can't trust the stability.
Mm.
Like it's gonna all crumble away, it's gonna shift, something's gonna happen and it's gonna fall away from you.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
gonna become chaotic again.
Was that a concern when the website issue popped up?
I feel like that's a concern just in general.
Okay.
And I feel like this past month, like March, I was dealing with a lot of limiting beliefs. Like my head was crammed full of limiting beliefs and scenarios.
Yeah.
and and
Stay with your body
Libra
as you
is in my
describe it.
sorry.
Stay with your body as you describe it.
Yeah, Libra is in my 12th house, and I feel like a lot of it was brought up by trauma. And I feel like a part of it was um I I went back to drinking coffee last month,
Mm.
and I feel like it just put my ego and lingering things that needed to be healed on like overdrive. Because it happened around the same time, and it made me wonder too, because I have this pattern, and I know it's a pattern, and I don't know if it's a pattern from trauma or if it's like a healthy pattern. But this pattern of where I'll stop something for around a year, and then after a year I'll reassess and go back to it, and then from there, like in case of coffee, I'm not drinking coffee anymore because I tuned into my body after having all those limiting beliefs and scenarios pop up visually, and my body was like, yeah, they're connected. And then I confirmed with my pendulum, and my pendulum was like, yes, it's connected. And so I was like, great, no more coffee, back to tea.
Yeah.
And
The eclipse didn't help either.
no. So
Most
I
people
feel like, and I feel like with I feel like I'm faced at, like, I've been talking about this a lot with other people, but I feel like I'm at the precipice of this, like, stepping into a new version of myself, stepping into the unknown, and it's making my stomach feel like nerves.
Yeah.
And I'm loving the experience of channeling the level 2 for the tarot class, but I also feel nervous because it's all my own creation, level 2. I had a previous level 1 to create the level 1 I'm teaching from now, but level 2 is fully my own thing, and it's fully my own channeled information, and I think I'm afraid of like it being rejected or like
There you go.
not received well or
Taken away somehow. Right.
and like I've also had like this fear generally of like my work being stolen from me, not receiving credit for it.
Yeah. This is something that's come up
And
before. Yeah. So
and
what area of your body's calling your attention most now?
I feel it in like my shoulder and my arms.
Uh,
Sometimes my arms literally feel like weak. Like I've been literally physically carrying this, and then my arms get weak from it.
yeah. Yeah. And it shows up in the shoulders when we are carrying a burden too heavy for us to carry. Right. Otherwise, you could say trying to do God's job.
Yeah.
It's not something that's within your power or control.
Mhm.
Our task is belief. Right.
Yeah.
And it makes me think of the ox with the yoke on it pulling the till. Right. You're,
It's funny, my Chinese zodiac is ox.
perfect. Okay. So let's spend some time with that sensation in the shoulders.
I I feel like the phantom pain of a pain I've been experiencing in my left shoulder for a while. I don't actually feel the pain now, but I'm like feeling its energy
Yeah.
of when it's there.
Yeah.
And it's like this like tight knot that I've had in my like left shoulder for like at least a few weeks.
Yeah.
It's like if someone was to like take a screwdriver and like tighten your your muscle.
So what are we trying to control?
I feel like I'm trying to control this course. Like I feel like I'm I'm wanting to put it out. I feel so enlightened and lit up by what I'm learning and channeling through it, but at the same time I feel like I'm torn because I'm afraid of it being not understood or not well received or the owner changing a whole bunch of things
Yeah.
or not receiving credit for it. And like I love teaching level 1, but so much of myself, and like I worry about this too, and I'm like I put so much of myself in it, and I'm like, but it's not my course, so what ownership do I have over it?
Yeah.
She paid me to create it for her,
Yeah.
for Oracle. And so it's like I also feel called to, in the future, create my own course, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, how does that fit into all of this? How do I be a teacher? And I know it's not at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like years in the future.
Yeah.
But
So let's
I also
remember.
feel conflicted about that because I mean, like,
Yeah.
I put so much of my own energy into this Oracle course and I love teaching it, but it's like some of the information's gonna infuse into what I create in the future.
Yeah.
And I fear that it's gonna be like, oh, you're, nah, but it's like I don't have any proof of that. You know, it's like,
Right.
oh, you're stealing Oracle's course to create your own. It's like
Right.
Oracle's course is basically my own.
Right. And
Like
it
Olin and I,
takes one conversation with the owner, right?
yeah,
Someone who's treated you amazingly and taking care of you so well,
yeah,
right? So let's notice the hamster wheel of the mind, how it wants to just go round and round, and what if this and what about that, and see how it has endless problems.
mhm,
Come back into the body, right? Find the fear. All of my worst possible scenarios have come true, completely catastrophize it. My work is stolen. My relationship with Oracle is damaged. I've lost my website, right? That's the real fear. I have fallen back to where I was 2 years ago.
I'm back to zero.
Yeah, there you go. Feel it in your body.
The limiting belief that comes up is that it's like all this work has been for nothing if it goes back to zero.
Yep. And feel how old that feeling feels. Give it a maturity level. Find it in your body.
I feel like I'm tuning into a memory from my high school days of when I was in I forget what the actual class was called, but it was effectively a mix of public speaking and creative writing. And in it, my final presentation was this message um of like how I wish adults and teachers would stop telling you that that high school isn't the real world or is preparing you for the real world, because this is real as well. A lot of very real things happen in high school that stay with people for years. And I was saying it's diminishing, it's disrespectful. This is very much a part of real life
Yeah.
as well. And it's not preparing us for anything. It's part of it. And and um and then one of like the popular kids said something and I misunderstood his comment. And I was like, oh, but this. And he's like, no, I was agreeing with you. And I was like, oh. And I just felt like, oof, like I was like embarrassed about it because he was actually agreeing with me and I thought he was like rebutting me or something. And um and I think I don't know why that came forward, but
How did it feel?
just like embarrassing and awkward.
Yeah. Where is it in your body?
Like I feel it in like my cheeks and in my stomach. Like
Okay.
I feel like my face is flushed and my stomach feels a little nauseous.
Yeah. Something about being seen is showing up, right? The face
Yeah.
has presented a couple times there. And how you're seen. Are you lumped in with those people that sell weapons, right?
Yeah.
Perception. And so
Hmm.
just feel into that. Feel your face for a minute.
And another more recent, and it's happened to me before, but um, so I guess I don't really need to give a specific example, but when I get excited or enthusiastic or charged about something, I tend to raise my voice a little bit out of excitement of the energy.
Mhm.
And it's happened many times in my past, even up until last week, where I'm excited about something I'm talking about, so my voice is getting a little bit louder, and then someone goes, shh,
Mhm.
like if I'm in public specifically,
Mm.
and I'm like, why do you have to shush me? Like,
Right.
and it just feels like, and it's interesting that I tuned into this and I was like, oh, I understand why I do this now, because my Venus is in Leo. So I get a little roary in an excitable way, like a little lion when I'm excited.
Yeah, and that's fine too, right?
Yeah. So, but I also, it makes me think of the strength card in tarot, because it's like calming that lion and shh, right? That's the energy of that
Right.
card. But it's like, but why though?
Right.
I mean, yeah, if the lion is running around destroying things and harming people, yeah, like calm that energy, heal that energy.
Right.
But it's like, I'm just talking about something I love, something I'm excited about.
Right.
So what if someone on the other side of the restaurant, or like 2 tables down, can hear what I'm saying? Everyone's talking loud in here. And I feel like it's coming from shame. Like,
Yeah.
that's what it feels like to me. They don't want people to hear, because usually when I'm talking about something excited, it's something to do with spirituality or witchcraft or tarot or
Mm.
the universe. So it's not exactly like a common, or, you know,
Yeah. So stay
I
with
don't
it.
know, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's like shame. They're like, don't talk so loud. I'm ashamed of what you're speaking about right now. You're talking too loud.
So feel it in your body.
Yeah, I feel that in my throat already. It's like, if my throat chakra could feel nauseous,
Interesting.
that's what it feels like.
Okay.
It
And
feels like nauseousness up here.
yeah. And what would it say if it could speak?
That it just like wants to, like, just let me speak.
Mhm.
just just let me.
Yeah.
And I have a problem with like expression and speaking my truth, and even like speaking out loud to like my own guides and stuff like that. I've always like, there's like a blockage or hesitancy or something there.
What
I
does?
think that's a fear too, because it's like, if you speak it and then nothing happens, then are you just making it all up? But I mean, I literally just had proof that that's not the case like yesterday. So
Yeah. And that brings us to trust in yourself, right? How people
yeah.
see me, how I project, whether or not can even trust myself to be speaking to my guides,
Hmm.
right? So feel into that question of, can I trust myself?
It's interesting. I feel it like here.
Yeah.
It's like an ache spot right there.
Mm. Both sides?
No, just there.
Okay. Just the left side. Okay. Good. Let's spend some time with that.
The visual that just came forward was like, if someone was to like take their like knuckle and like, that's what it feels like.
Okay. We'll stay with that
I
sensation.
like saw that visual of like a knuckle being like pushed in.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a specific memory or just the general energy, but the image of like me like looking at myself in the mirror, like like inspecting myself, I guess a word, in the mirror, just like came forward, like while I was like at home in my bedroom, like my mom, my family home. And it's like I'm looking in the mirror, but it's not like out of love or appreciation or adoration. It's like finding the flaws.
Yeah. Yeah. Stay with that sensation in the body. See that version of yourself in your mind's eye. Be with her in that moment.
I just feel like sad for her.
Right.
I get this message that it's like my body literally hasn't changed all that much since in the last like 10 years. But from where I am now, how I feel and perceive my body has changed. That's what's changed.
Yeah.
And so being who I am now, teleporting myself back into my old bedroom that just was the place of so many memories and energy for me.
Help her see herself the way you see yourself now. And take it even one level higher and ask that both of you see yourself the way the divine sees you.
I just see myself standing in front of the mirror with her like side by side. And first I shared my energy with her of how I feel now. And that feeling dissipated. And then when you said how the divines, and we just turned into like light bodies.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
We were like light, just full light.
Do you feel that?
No features even, just light beings.
Do you feel that lightness in your body?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Stay with that feeling. Anchor that in.
I feel it really strongly in my heart chakra.
Good.
It's like it's everywhere else, but it's like if everywhere else was just lit by a light bulb, then my heart chakra feels like it's more like a beam.
Good. Anchor that in. Stay with it.
I just heard this message that I'm proud of myself that on this healing expansion journey I chose, even years before I met you, to start from the inside and work outward to improve as opposed to work outward and then in.
Being proud of yourself is important. Of course, the world will reflect to us what is within us.
Mm-hmm.
So that experience with the website was a little bit of a trigger to say, hey, you still see yourself as not quite enough.
Yeah.
Right? You still don't quite trust all that you are.
Mm-hmm.
There's still doubt in the path, which again is emanating from you. Right?
Yeah.
So let's feel into that initial trigger again. Feel into the moment you discovered the website and clumped you in with all those other people. And notice how activated it was initially and where we're at now on a scale of 1 to 10.
I want to say it's about like a 3 or 4.
Okay, good.
It's still kind of like, oh, but it's not like I'm triggered for the next week now.
Right, good. Yeah, I didn't ask initially. Where do you think we were when we started?
I'd say somewhere like an 8.
Okay, good. So 3, 4 is pretty good. let's remember that the inner child, the little girl who looked at herself in the mirror and had not so nice things to say to herself, she's living within you, and she needs, right? If life continues to present these opportunities for defending yourself and believing in yourself, she's the one that needs to hear from you, right? The little girl who lost her shoe, she needed somebody to come protect her, to take care of her, right? We make the promise to the inner child, I'm going to show up for you. I'm going to keep you safe, and I'm going to help you speak to yourself in the right way, right? I'm going to say things to you that the divine would say to you, right? This goes all the way back to Louise Hay's self-love affirmations, right?
Yeah.
Back to basics, right? So showing up for her, keeping those versions of yourself safe is through the inner dialogue, right? So when the website says you're not good enough, right? You defend yourself. Say, yes, I am. I believe in myself. I approve of myself. I'm proud of myself. When somebody says, shh, say, don't shush me. I'm proud of what I have to say. Right. And so it's the defense internally in that inner dialogue, encouraging yourself, becoming your own cheerleader, believing in yourself, and insisting on integrating a new belief within you.
Yeah.
Right. How does that feel?
Feels good. While you were talking, I had this little vision come up of me now being in that grade 1 classroom just as the teacher's taking the shoes away and being like, excuse me,
Yeah.
WTF? No, give me my shoes back. Thank you very much and goodbye.
Right. Yeah. Nobody should take someone's shoes away from there. That's a physical boundary violation. It's not acceptable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. How does your body feel right now?
It feels lighter. It feels like there's laughter in it.
Good. Let's touch in real quick to that feeling of going back to zero. How does that feel?
It feels heavy and daunting.
Okay. So that's still there to work with.
Yeah.
Okay. So find that in your body. And as you know, I do have another session, so I don't want to open another can of worms. But after working with you for over a year, I know you know how to do this, right?
Yeah.
Just stay with that sensation in the body, right? Find how old it feels. See that
Hard
version.
to pinpoint how old this one is. I don't really find an origin point for it.
So you know how to contact me. Why don't you sit with this one, right? After we're
Yeah.
offline, let me know what comes up, and we can do this virtually as well.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm proud of you. Right. And know too that the fear of going back to zero is a fawn response. It's part of the fawn response. And there is a physical connection. You mentioned coffee. So I wanted to mention that to you as well. That closing that fawn response is really important from a
Fawn, like FAWN, like
Yep. It's the fear of being the prey again, right? So if you're the smaller person and the bigger person, the predator is coming towards you, the teacher is going to come take your shoes, you make yourself small to stay safe, right? So it's a fawn response.
okay.
People pleasing, over giving, self-sacrifice, those are all in that same vein, right?
The pendulum swing.
Yes, we can go from fight to fawn, right? Freeze to fawn,
Yeah.
or fight or flight, right? Flight to fawn. There's a
Yeah.
physical component, right? So toxins in the body aggravate the nervous system of the cell. So if you are taking in coffee or alcohol or any other toxins, just environmental toxins, right? Like it's literally raining glyphosate these days. The cells of the nervous system of the cells can get activated, and it can cause sort of that fear of, where do I belong? Am I going to end up in that place where I don't know where I belong? And so cleansing and detoxing can be just as important to helping close the stress response as is the somatic piece, right? So I know that you're well aware of how to detox and all those things, but lots of green juice or even fasting can be really helpful as well.
I've been drinking a whole bunch of water, having a lot of Epsom salt soaks.
Yep. Lymphatic massage can also be really amazing to help.
I also have like a guisha or whatever they're called.
Yes.
One of the rolling majiggers.
Absolutely. Yep. I've started doing a lymphatic massage in the shower every day. Like it literally takes 5 minutes and it's super easy, right? Just nice, gentle massaging of the body towards the heart, right? And there's lots of videos on YouTube as well. Okay. Right. You're beautiful. You're amazing. Your course is amazing. Your understanding of tarot is off the charts. I've never seen anyone so visually and intuitively describe the things that you describe. You truly are a gem and a treasure, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise, right? Especially yourself to yourself.
Yeah, seriously, the worst one.
Okay. Remember grounding, put your feet on the ground if you can. I know it's cold, but still it's worth it. Otherwise, salt bath, lots of water, fruits and vegetables.
Excellent.
Okay. Sending you love.
Thank you.
Yes. We'll talk soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.